Alright, so here is a week's training. Started off Monday. I had to do 4 rounds of this circuit. I started off skipping. I can't do double unders, so I just kept it nice and simple. Straight into wall ball shots. With this, I've done this for 21 reps at a time, which was really exhausting. As you can see, the camera angle changes after every single set. Then straight after this, I went straight into single arm dumbbell snatches. And yeah, this one wasn't too bad because my shoulders seem to be my strongest muscle group. And I managed to complete the circuit absolutely exhausted within 11 minutes. So I'm pretty proud of myself there. But that's not it. I'm not going to let an 11-minute circuit be the death of me. So I went straight into my bodybuilding training and done some leg extensions. 3 sets to failure. And I've done an epic drop set at the end. Then I've done the exact same thing. 3 sets and I've done a drop set on my last and just really pushing that towards failure. Straight after this, I went into the hack squats, and the hack squats are probably my least favorite exercise to do, full stop. I do 3 sets to failure until I totally collapse, but after each set I also do a superset of sissy squats. And I just do that until I can't stand up anymore. So, and what's better to do after this big superset than doing some Bulgarian split squats? So yeah, I managed to do only 16 kg each side Bulgarian split squats, alternated legs with no drop set. And for once, I didn't manage to skip calves. I managed to just do 3 sets, nice, slow and controlled, and focused on my tempo. It was such a beautiful day. I wanted to make the most of this. So I went to the trek in the afternoon and only done about 5 to 10 sprints. So that is Tuesday over, straight into Wednesday. I was supposed to be doing this circuit, but it's literally impossible to set this up in my Pure Gym. So I just done a standard back day. Nothing special here. I'm just doing a supinated bent over row, focusing on my tempo and just working to failure. I did go heavier in my final set and I did use some momentum to help get the bar up. And then I've done a close grip pull and I've done 3 sets of this, and I've done a drop set on my last set. I started off on 60 kg, then went to 50 kg, then took off the 25 plate, went straight to 25 kg. Straight after this, I went into my rope pulls. When I get to the bottom, I just really hold it down there for a second or two, just really squeezing it. And I'm really nice and slow, bringing it up on the eccentrics also. My lower back is something I've been really neglected recently, so I've just done 3 sets of 15 kg back extensions, and then I've done a drop set at the end. Straight into another core exercise, and that's the hanging leg raises. This is ultimately my favorite ab exercise, as I feel it every single time I do it. And I tried to do this with as minimal swing as possible and really focus on my abs. And then finally, I went straight into a big arm superset, done the tricep push down, and done this for 3 sets, then straight into some strict bicep curls, done this to failure. And that is Wednesday complete. So if you follow the CrossFit Games, Thursday is always a rest day, but this was my last time seeing my friend before he heads to Australia. So we synced up a big chest and back day, and I thought I'll take advantage of the spot and see how many reps I could hit with a 100 kg bench. My mate is normally a CrossFitter, so he didn't necessarily go as heavy. And then we done a pull-up challenge. We done 2 reps and increased the weight, then 2 reps and increased the weight. We managed to go all the way up to 22.5 kg. Straight after this, went straight into some decline chest press, and you can see my form is very slow and controlled, focusing on that negative reps and really squeezing it out at the top. And then next we went into a seated wide grip pull. We done 2 sets wide and 2 sets narrow. I really like this video. You can see the muscles getting properly stretched. You can actually see how slow I'm going on this, which is pretty cool. And finally, we ended with some cable bicep curls, and we just done 3 sets to failure. And overall, it was a good session. Chest was hurting the next day, and so was my back. But that's not over. I ended the evening playing paddle. I've taken up paddle recently, so this is part of my training also. This is a couple of my highlights. There's a nice little shot there, getting it over the net. Nice little backhand slice return on the dip. I'm slowly improving, slowly getting better, and it's something I enjoy. With paddle, I'm getting an additional 6,000 to 10,000 steps depending if I play for an hour or an hour and a half. Next, we're on Friday, and this was a very difficult training session. This was power snatches and muscle snatches, which is something which I'm not necessarily familiar with. Yeah, and one of the PTs that I'm friends with gave me a little bit of advice doing these muscle snatches, as I'm not necessarily comfortable doing them. He gave me some advice to widen my grip, and it felt a lot better, but still not 100% with them. But you could definitely see on this final rep the massive difference what it made. Then after my 15 warm-up reps, there was a little circuit where I had to do 5 power snatches, then burn calories on a bike. But my bike never told me how many calories I burnt, so I just sprint for 45 seconds. And I've done this for about 15 to 20 minutes. It was pretty exhausting going back and forth with no rest at all. And then finally, I just done my standard shoulder presses as I was in the WOD. It said to start off with the shoulder presses, then do the circuit after. But however, I've done it in reverse order and went really heavy. You can see how heavy I went on my TikTok. I'll just link that below. And then finally, I couldn't play paddle. I didn't have enough people for paddle. I played squash. It was my first time playing squash, but after 15 minutes of playing squash, I was dripping, so it was great cardio. cardio there. And that brings me to Saturday. With this session, I really enjoyed it and really hated it at the same time. It was a 40-minute circuit. Every minute on the minute, I had to do 20 alternating step-ups. And then I had to do 5 25-minute shuttles, which was absolutely exhausting. It wasn't necessarily bad in the moment, but the very next day, my legs were absolutely killing. For 40 minutes straight, it was pretty enjoyable, to be fair, and I was dripping by the end of it, you could only imagine. And you can see this clip where I'm sitting on the box and I'm pulling down my top. It is soaking wet. I really enjoyed this one, and I'd like to do more circuits like this in the future. And then finally, the day wouldn't be complete with some paddle. Nice little backhand shot there. Nice little return there also. So this was an hour-and-a-half session, and this would have got me 10,000 extra steps, which is a bonus and is also very fun. Sunday is a rest day, but I always get my steps in no matter what day of the week is. Monday to Sunday, I always try to get a minimum of 10,000 steps. And yeah, I just had a day off, exercise, no paddle also. And finally, that I started the week's training on Tuesday because I had a rest day last Monday. This brings me to Monday. And this circuit was absolutely exhausting. It was 24 air squats, then straight into 16 burpees, which by about the 6th one, I was absolutely dead and form dropped drastically. So then straight into some overhead press. Again, my shoulders are pretty comfortable, so this was easy for me. And then finally, I had to do some thrusters, and my ankle mobility isn't cut out for that. But I'm really trying to improve it, as I really want to master these CrossFit movements and these Olympic lifts. And I had to do 5 rounds of this, so doing 80 burpees absolutely killed me. And I never wanted to do a burpee ever again after this WOD. And after this, I had a very quad dominant session last week. I actually done my adductors and abductors, and I just done 3 sets of failure and just done a drop set on that at the end. And I finished off with some hamstrings, exactly the same as my session last week. 3 sets to failure, then a drop set. And then finally, I finished the day off playing some football. Unfortunately, I do not have any highlights for you guys, but it was such a beautiful day. I got some extra steps in. I love playing football, and this beats going for a run all day long. So no week is the same for me. I mainly follow the CrossFit Games app, which trains Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday and Saturday. Thursday and Sunday are normally the rest days. Depending on how long the WODs are, I normally add my bodybuilding training after this. If something didn't get trained this week or neglected, I'll hit it this upcoming week. For example, I didn't hit my side delts, my rear delts and my upper chest, so I'll be hitting that this upcoming week. If you want to see what I'm eating while I'm on holiday, just watch this next video.